I called Governor Romney a short while ago before he gave his talk and congratulate him because he certainly had a clear-cut victory, but we're nibbling at his heels.
Well, the big news out of New Hampshire is the Silver Place winner, Texas Congressman and Republican presidential candidate Ron Paul, and he joins us right now from Concord, New Hampshire. Congressman, I was just saying, I watched your speech live last night. You delivered it. That was as pumped up as I've ever seen you. Is this one of the highlights of your career?
Well, it certainly is an important point, but I see it just a continuation of what I've been doing. But I'm so excited because our numbers are growing. We work with small groups for a long time, but it's galvanizing in the real sense that people intellectually know what I'm talking about. But now we're getting the support politically and the volunteers that are coming in and the money being raised. It really is exciting that people are endorsing something that I consider so important.
Congressman, are you most stunned about the demographic of the kind of voter who likes you right now? You garnered more than 50% of the young vote. I'm talking 18 to 30 years old. And you are 76 years old. I hope I have that number right.
That's right, but I feel a lot younger, and I think it's how young you are in spirit. I think your spirit has to be young if you're attracted to young people. But I think the Republicans fall short on this. They say sometimes very critical of our supporters, and they want to dismiss the young people. But how do you build the Republican Party if you don't talk to young people? I mean, we go to the campuses and we get a lot of support, but I've never had a Republican leader come up to me and they say, "Tell me what you do to get young people interested in the Republican Party and interested in what you're doing." So I'm always fascinated with that because the campuses are certainly interested in what I've been saying.
Sure, because it certainly is working for you there. Next stop, South Carolina. Back in 2008, I believe you came in 5th. Right now, according to the Real Clear Politics average, Mitt Romney's got 31%, Santorum's got 20, Newt's got 19, and you have 10. It is a much more conservative state, the experts say. How do you do well there?
Well, I'm pretty conservative. I'm the only one that's offered a real cut in the budget. Everybody else talks about cut of those proposed increases, which makes no dent into our problems at all. So when they understand that I'm willing to cut $1 trillion out of the budget and move forward and change our ways and even talk about things that are very important like monetary policy, because that's what encourages politicians to spend money. No, I think they're going to respond very favorably. I imagine the polls have just gone up in the last 24 hours down in South Carolina. So we're pretty optimistic about how things will work out in South Carolina.
Congressman, at 2 different events, maybe even 3 different events, from Santorum to Newt Gingrich, your supporters have mixed with Occupy supporters and created kind of a rowdy atmosphere. Would you encourage them to stop that?
Who, the Occupy people or what?
Along with some of your supporters have mixed in, causing some turmoil in those 3 separate locations in the final day of campaigning.
Well, what I advise is people have, of course, have the right to demonstrate. I tell people they ought to be polite. And if they even bend over to lean over and get into this area where they're breaking laws and practicing civil disobedience, they do it at their own risk. And, civil disobedience is a proper tool as it was in the civil rights movement. But you got to be very careful. No, we talk very much. And although once in a while see some people out of step. But if we get a fair shake and look at our people and come and see the supporters, they ought to just come and see the kind of young people who come and make tens, if not hundreds of thousands of phone calls for us. I mean, these are really, really nice, clean-cut young people. So it's unfair to judge us by a few people who have acted out of line, and we do not encourage that, obviously.
Congressman, excuse me for saying this, but do you believe that some people call you kooky because of your foreign policy only? Is that the reason why?
Yeah. I don't know why they do that. You have to ask them, but they do use those terms because they can't defend themselves intellectually. If they say my foreign policy is kooky, maybe they ought to look at what's happening. Why is invading a country like in Iraq, who never did a thing to us, kill a lot of people, then turn it over to the Shiites who are now allies with the Iranians? I call that kooky. I call it kooky allowing our president now to go in numerous countries. Even today, he went into another African country without permission of the Congress and fighting wars undeclared. That is kooky, and that is why the American people are sick and tired of what we have. about 70% of the American people are now with me and saying it's time to get out of Afghanistan.
I guess the reason
there's no benefit to be there.
The reason I ask that question is because you sound so much like the other Republicans in the field on almost everything else. And so I'm wondering if that's why some of the analysts use that term with you, just about your foreign policy.
Well, they choose that to probably discredit me because I'm the consistent one, because conservatives and constitutionalists are supposed to say we're for limited government, personal liberty, and balanced budgets, live within our means. So, yes, they'll support me on the issues I want to cut spending here at home frequently, sometimes not when they pass No Child Left Behind and prescription drug programs. But when I say that spending more money overseas, just to spend money overseas, is conservative, where'd that come from? But that's an acceptance. The more money we spend overseas, too many conservatives say, oh, that's our position, spend more money overseas. That doesn't make any sense to me.
All right. Well, congratulations on your second-place finish last night in New Hampshire. Next stop, the Palmetto State. Ron Paul, thank you.